Hello YouTube, I Fix It All here, Team I Fix It All. This is for a couple of questions I was getting on the SuperSplit wood splitter about when you lift up the handle, how it skips when you're trying to get the arm to come out. If you want to know about these things, check them out at SuperSplit. I'm going on 16 years with this thing and not a single damn problem except for one small issue, and it was easily worked around. But the guy who was contacting me says that when he lifts up his handle, there's a skipping noise, like gears aren't meshing up in here. And he said it was happening to me in some of my past videos, so if you want to see this thing in action, I'll do another split. I'll roll a round up my little pin oak 2x6 here and ramp it up on here and show you how it works. But I'll also be duplicating the same problem he was having. And if you don't lift up this handle with authority, then you will have skipping. So you got to really mean to. And also I hope the engine doesn't drown out the sound. This is the second take on this video because I had audio issues on the previous one. Splitting techniques, keeping your fingers out of the way and such, and never changing your pattern on how you split. Always do everything the same and try to avoid letting anyone help you while you're on the work table. Other hands involved where you're not used to having help around can change the way you move and the way you position wood and the way you reach for the lever. This is all repetitive motion, so if you have something that, if you have a helper, try not to have a helper with you working this machine. It's a one-man operation for a reason. But I want to address that guy talking about his rack and pinion with skipping a tooth, and I'll show you how I can make that happen by being lazy lifting up on the handle versus lifting it up with authority. I'm going to rig you guys up in the ladder here. Just drop you in this little holby. I'll roll around up there and get it up on the table and we'll split it. Get you spotted right there. That ought to be good enough. I'm going to walk over here and get my 2x6 staged. Get that spotted right there. Throw my gloves on. I wasn't prepped for this. I was more focused on getting more firewood put up. And as a tidbit, if you're not running the wood stove I have, you are wrong. Look at Vogelzang. That begins with a V, Victor. Vogelzang. TR007 or TR008 model. It's a gasifier wood burner. And look into them. They burn. It's a totally different technology. But anyway, let's get on this. I've got, this is red oak. It's a decent round. And I got piles of bark right here and right there above the rounds where I'll save some of that back and I'll use it for wood starters, fire starters. But the wood burner I have doesn't require you to, the wood stove I have, it doesn't require you to let the fire burn down before you change the ash out, before you get the coals out. You can leave coals behind. It has a great big bin in the bottom of it. You rake most of it down and keep your coals in your stove and add more wood. You never lose any time on heating. Alright, here we go. The purpose of this video is to address the skipping noises. Look at that noise. I've got several videos. This is, I think, year 16 on this. Cold engine. Gas is already on. I should have turned the gas off overnight. Hope it starts. I'm hoping you can hear me. I'm going to be speaking up a little bit. I'm going to get this split in half first, and then I'm going to demonstrate the skipping part that I was talking about. As a matter of fact, I think I need to adjust my belt. I'm going to pause the video. I noticed something yesterday. I'm losing RPM on my flywheels. Let me take you out of the ladder here. I'm going to show you how to make that adjustment. But anyway, this is a 3/4 inch pulley here on a clutch that drives. Here's the top part of the belt, here's the other part. I think they're 75-pound flywheels. Centrifugal force. Joined on an axle that's machined out into gears or teeth. The axle is machined out into horizontal teeth. That when you lift up on that handle, it engages this, which has teeth underneath it. And that's just the simplest way I can explain how this works for now. It's not what the video is about, but I want to pause this. I notice my belt's kind of loose. And I want to adjust that, so it's real simple. Your motor just sets on this I-beam here. And I just loosen this hold down clamp. Right here and here, loosen that up, and then I adjust this adjustment screw. Turning that nut there will pull the entire motor that way, thus pulling this motor away from the flywheel with the belt, and it'll tighten up the tension here. Hang tight. Let me see what I gotta do here. Alright, I think I got that done. All's well that ends well. Drop you back in this ladder here. Let's see if I can do this without disturbing the microphone adapter. That should be good enough. Alright, back to splitting. As we were. Did you hear that stutter? I had a lot of effort involved in Watching over that wood rolling because I'm on a sideways slope here, and I wasn't able to grab this handle and raise it with authority. So this is what I'm talking about. Just don't mess around. Lift this up like you mean it. Now listen, watch this. I'm going to make it skip. I'll make it skip by not raising it up correct. You got to get on it. One of the ways to avoid that is to lower your RPM. You lose splitting pressure. I'm going to lower. A little quieter, and you can once you get the big stuff split, you don't really need all that loud noise and energy. Hear that skip? I didn't yank up on it. Now this time another thing I want to cover is interrupting early. When you got a gnarly piece of wood that has a fork in it, or it's all twisted grain, I'm going to split this up and I'm going to interrupt early, because I don't want, if you let that ram go all the way, if there's a problem, the wood has a tendency to ramp up and flip back in your face. You have to know that your rhythm needs to be that when you raise up on the handle, you should be able to tap it down and disengage the rack before the problem occurs. I'm going to interrupt this one early on most all the cuts. I should turn the RPM up a little bit. This is what max sounds like. But I don't really, you generally don't need all that energy. Watch what I mean by interrupt early. Tapping it back down. Notice I'm also keeping my fingers out of the way of the blade. I'll make it skip again. Don't want to do that. See how I'm tapping down? I watch it. I don't have any reason to tap out early on these because it's all straight. But if it's all twisty lumber, like I said, when that rack gets all the way to the end, that's where you normally have your wood flip back over and hit you in the face. This thing has engineered into it about 500 ways it's trying to murder you. And you just got to learn to work with it and be as safe as you can. And there's plenty of stickers on the machine that tell you, don't be stupid. I try to make it a habit to tap out early every damn time because it's, like I said, if you repeat your motions and you always do the same thing all the time, and you keep your fingers away from danger areas, and you're not right here all the time following your wood through, you're off to the side, fingers out of the way, thumb out of the way, and you're only guiding the side profile, the outside part of the lumber, you're safe. And it's a one-hand operation, realistically. That my right hand or my left hand works the handle, the other hand works the lumber through. But fingers are never compromised. I've seen some people do some stupid things with these super splits, like leaning on the firewood and pushing it through and all that stupid stuff. No, it's safety, safety, safety. Get another one up there. Did you see the super split almost flip over on me? Oh. Hang on. There's a gnarly piece of wood. I don't know. Yeah. Well, the video was about addressing that skipping. So we did that. Lift the handle up. Don't do this. Do that. Let's see if the audio screws up on this one. This was take 2. Get you out of the ladder here. And I run what I brung, so I don't edit nothing. Pretty good looking lumber. I took down some trees over here so I can get a couple more hours of sunlight on my gardening area. My raised garden beds. Here's my wood shed I'm filling up. Got a few rounds right here I got to put up. Coming along pretty good. That right there would do me for the whole winter. But I'll split the remainder of what I got in those few rounds, and that'll be that. Alright guys, you take it easy. See ya. Let's see if we can do a thumbnail. I haven't figured out what YouTube does to decide thumbnails. I mean, the automatic thumbnail. It used to be you could go through and pick more than just one option. But I think that if you stay focused on something for a certain amount of time, I'm just experimenting to see if YouTube decides this is my thumbnail. Like, is this the algorithm said, well, the subject was on this thing the longest time, I'll make this the thumbnail. Let's see if it does it. We shall see ya. Bye.